Hey everybody, this is JD, John Damakis. Last time I told you that I would be picking a topic for each episode to discuss how people around the world are trying to fix the major problems we face. Well, today we're going after a big one. Today we're going to talk about two amazing inventions which are designed to clean up the garbage in our oceans. For years I've listened to news broadcasters and experts in the field of oceanography speak about the ongoing problem of plastics accumulating in the oceans around the globe. They're always very quick to tell you how we are doing serious damage by continuing to produce plastics which end up in the water and eventually causing serious injury to the world's sea life. There's one thing they don't do though. They don't have a solution to fix it. It's obviously a serious problem. I don't want anybody to think that I don't realize that. I'm just fed up with people who point fingers but aren't doing anything to fix those problems. If it's bothering you so much, get off your rear end and become part of the solution. Well, I've spent the last 2 weeks learning a great deal about two inventions that exist right now, today, to reverse this problem. Before I introduce them to you, I want to say that I don't know if they are the answer to this problem or not, but they're an absolute step in the right direction. Along the way, we may find better solutions, but I'm glad that some people aren't waiting to see if something better comes along. These guys are putting their ideas to work right now. How awesome is that? The first idea is a more local approach. It's called the sea bin. Sea bins are basically a garbage can for local marinas that sit in the water and collect debris, fuel, and oil right off the surface of the water. They are designed to sit next to floating docks, in marinas, and near yacht clubs. They're also supposed to be able to be modified to work to hook onto super yachts as well. The devices are attached to a stationary surface such as a dock, and they collect the debris off the water's surface 24 hours a day, 365 days a year into a collection bag that can then be removed from the bin, and you can dispose the contents on land. One of the goals of the project will be to eventually use the plastics that are collected through the use of the sea bin in order to make new sea bins, thus recycling the very garbage that the device collects and keeps the project from using new materials in the process. I love this idea. I don't know how often you spend time at the beach or in harbors, but they can get pretty nasty. And the idea that this device passively collects not only debris but also oil and fuel spills without causing any loud noises or closing off an area, that's just fantastic. I'm really excited about this, and I encourage you to follow the link in the video to the video in our comments section. It's very impressive. I grew up spending a lot of time around the San Francisco Bay Area and other Bay Area waterways, and I can absolutely attest to the need for something like this. Now, let's move on to a larger issue. Let's move away from the shore. Let's talk about what's going on in the deep ocean. There are these currents around the world that just basically collect garbage. There are actually about 5 around the world, really big ones. This is where the garbage that we throw into the ocean ends up. One of these in particular is located between China and the United States. It's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's about twice the size of Texas, if you can imagine that. It's made up of plastics and other garbage, and it's really not going anywhere. The ocean currents just move it around and bring in more garbage to make the pile even bigger. Supposedly, in its current state, estimates to clean it up are saying it would take about 70 years, give or take, to do it. That's just incredible. It sounds kind of hopeless. We just don't have the resources or the time to clean that up. Not to mention, it will be getting bigger every day during any cleanup process. Now, let me tell you about a 19-year-old kid from the Netherlands. His name is Erwin Zwart. He was diving off the coast of Greece years ago, and he found that there was more plastic bags in the water than there were fish. He did some research, and he found all the information that I just told you about. One big difference in his case, though, was he asked, how can we fix it? The most common answer he was finding was, it's too big to fix. All we can do is hope not to make it get any bigger. Well, that wasn't good enough for him. He decided if no one else was going to try, he was going to fix it himself. And that's exactly the kind of thinking that we need out there. A 19-year-old kid, think about that. He didn't have a master's degree or 30 years of experience in the subject. He had the desire and the inspiration to find a solution. And the cool thing is, he thinks he might have found a way. Zwart's plan was to create a giant ocean cleanup array, kind of a garbage collector that will sort all the garbage away from the sea life and enable us to move that garbage off the water and be disposed of properly. The great thing is it's not overly complicated. He found a material that he could leave in the water in a stationary location and let the ocean currents do all the work. The current would force the garbage into this material, which would act like a giant funnel and direct all the garbage to a fixed location, which will collect it. Sea life is able to swim under the material, which means it won't be disturbing the natural makeup of the ocean. Now here's the big news. Boyan believes, after all his research, that using his device, he can remove 7,250,000 tons of plastic waste from the world's oceans. He believes he can clear the Great Pacific Garbage Patch in about 10 years. Think about that for a moment. 10 years! All the estimates were saying 70 plus years. That's a huge step forward, and that's a number that seems far more manageable. He also says the plastics found in the garbage patch can be separated out and sold back as recyclables, and the money that he makes from that will far exceed the cost of the array, ultimately making far more money than it will take to create and maintain it. Wow, that's a solution everybody should be able to get on board with. In early 2016, he put his prototype array into the water. This is happening right now, folks. He is changing the world that we live in as we speak. Is this the solution to our garbage problem in the ocean? I have no idea. It is, however, a step forward and proof that there are people in the world that are making a difference in problems that most of us aren't even going to try to fix. When you get a chance, please go ahead and visit on the web www.theoceancleanup.com to learn more about the cleanup array and to follow the progress of this great idea. And also check out www.seabinproject.com to learn more about sea bins. These are definitely worth looking into. Don't take my word for it. Learn about these technologies on your own. Keep an open mind. Maybe you have a way to make these devices even better. Just keep positive. Together, we can change the world. I'm JD. I'll see you next time.